With us, we're joined by Mr. Patrick and Mr. Cadet. So good morning, gentlemen. How are you doing?
Good morning. Welcome to Daybreak.
Thank you very much.
All right, so y'all here to talk about a big sporting event. What's this big sporting event that happening soon? Tell me.
A collaboration between Presentation Brothers College and St. Judas Convent St. George's on Saturday morning, 9 o'clock.
So that's this Saturday morning?
This Saturday morning.
Okay. All right, and this is your annual sports meet, like the regular sports meet that you normally have, but both schools.
I think it's the third year, Mr. Patrick.
This is the third year.
Third
Oh, this is
year.
the third year you've
Okay.
collaborated. Okay.
All right, and how has it been in the past years?
Well, it has been very good. Last year, as you are aware, the meet was washed out due to the inclement weather. But the year before that, it was excellent. And the year before that was the start of the experiment. That also was very good.
Okay.
Okay.
So what prompted the collaboration?
Well, in fact, in 2006, we had set our sports meet for a Thursday. That day, the weather was very bad, so we had to postpone the meet. But the Saturday after that, St. Joseph's Convent was having their sport meet. So both principals spoke, and we concurred that we will have the sports together. And out of that, this merge became possible, and the experiment was well, and so it has continued.
Okay. That's good to hear. Experimenting, all good, and just keep it rolling for the next few years. Where are you having the sports this year?
We're having it at the National Stadium. We're starting at 9. We have about 62 events carded.
62.
Most of our field events have been done prior to Sports Day. We're really looking forward to an exciting, fun day, as we call it, because our institutions are not those world beaters per se. But what we do at the school is to try to make sure that the whole developmental process of our students is taken care of. And as my principal and his principal do say, it's instructional time off the school compound.
All right. Okay. Good. Well, I imagine that it's going to be a pretty big turnout, with two fairly big schools, together. It's going to make a huge event, How many people do you think you're expecting there? If you can't give
Well, honestly, we expect it to be more of a family affair. It's more than just the students of SJC, the students of PBC. We're encouraging all Grenadians to come out in their numbers. I mean, it's a Saturday, most persons are home,
Right.
So we just want the family to come together, We want to fill the stadium to capacity.
Right.
That's our intention, really.
Nice.
Okay. And do you have an idea how many athletes are actually going to be competing throughout the day?
Well, I think it's going to be around 200 to 250.
Yes.
If my calculation serves me right.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, wow.
So there's lots of stuff to see on that day, It wouldn't be short of any action or any entertainment for sure, So from beginning to end, so from 9 o'clock all the way to the finish, you're gonna have something happening there.
The program is packed. I mean, track events from 9, an opening ceremony at 9 till about 9:30 thereabout. They're going to start off with 100 meters until about lunchtime, the sprint races.
You started at 100?
Yes, at
all right,
100.
okay. So
1500 meters and then the 100 meters.
Okay, so you need to be there early if you want to catch the 100.
Yeah.
Well, in fact, our local diaspora chapter here, last year we had a torch run. And the torch run was actually the only event that actually happened. It was fantastic. All the reviews from persons who saw it thought that it was a very good thing to do. This year we are going to be doing that again. So we're going to be starting from the tunnel here. Some of our old boys in the local alumni here will be doing the torch run. Okay. So I think they have about 6 different points because some of the boys are kind of aged and maybe not as fit as you boys. But nevertheless, I would hope that they will get to the stadium. We would have St. Joseph's Convent and Presentation Boys College students line, the torch would come through, both principals would light the torch, and then the activity would start.
Right.
Okay. Wow. Okay. All right. So serious ceremony.
Yes. Big things happening.
The big things.
Here's what I want to know. In recent times with Kirani's success abroad and so on, how has it inspired your athletes? Who's striving to be the next Kirani right now?
Well, everyone is inspiring to be a Kirani James. He's a role model. He's an excellent role model. He has certainly generated a lot of activity within the whole physical education / sports arena, and that is good for the country, because the more physical activity that our youths take part in, or generally people per se, it means a more healthy nation that we have. But to be more specific, there are a lot of students who aspiring to do what he has done, and therefore we're looking forward to the level of our athletics in Grenada to rise.
Right. What about the girls?
Yeah, the girls are hyped, and they were hyped during the last season with Karani James exploits, and I know for particular that there are about 4 students who really believe that they can make it on the world stage. I mean, those athletes have been training ever since about July last year. You know, so we expect those students on Saturday to really come out and show what the training, did for them. And I do believe that maybe 5 years from now, we can have some good confident girls and PBC boys on the national team, even representing Grenada, in international events.
So which events are those 4 or 5?
Sprints, 100 meters, 200 meters, and 400 meters.
Okay.
They're good at that, Okay. I mean, on top of my head, name come to mind like Melanie Rodney. I mean, she was an excellent athlete ever since on the primary school. Last year was her first year at Intercol, and she did very well. We have a junior girl in the name of Shivani Moraine. She got a medal also at Intercol last year, a third form student. We have a fourth form student, a senior athlete, Rosalina Braveboy, also a medalist last year at Intercol.
Right.
So we expect those students to really come up and show on Saturday.
Okay.
All right. You think there might be any surprise underdogs in the field?
Well, you never know. You never know. I mean, on the game, on the field of play, anything could happen.
Right.
Anything could happen.
Just before you spoke about field events. It's something that we don't get to see much of. How do they go?
Well, this year is the first time that our institution was able to have our field events. I actually set the field events for December, because if you realize that this period of time is very packed and cumulative. Intercall is on the 27th and 28th of March this year. Usually it's done in the April period, and there are a lot of sporting activities happening within this period. And it's also a time when you have to leave room for march past practicing. This is a period when the boys are preparing their SBAs, and so you have to take the whole graphics into account. So I thought last year that having the heats in January was kind of very stressful for me, stressful for all the other teachers who have a lot of other activities between this time. As you would realize, last week we had a very excellent Calypso independent show at the school, and that took a lot of planning. A lot of work had gone into it. A lot of teachers had to be part and parcel of the whole process. So I had my heats in December, which was good. And now that you are on board, I can always let you know when these things are happening, so you come to get some kind of activity for your show.
Fantastic. All right.
Yeah.
Very good.
Guess what I'm doing? I'm looking for the National Stadium here on the map.
You don't know where it is?
It's right there. We see Queen's Park right there, so you know where to go. All right, it's on the map, folks. If you're looking for the sports gear map, and find your way to PBC and Convent Sports this Saturday.
Yeah, certainly. We have been progressively monitoring the weather pattern. In fact, last night I've been doing that, because last year we lost a lot of money in the preparation for our sports. But nevertheless, I hope that the good Lord Creator would give us good weather, so that all our patrons who are coming forward and those parents who are coming to support us and support their students in the activity would have the opportunity to do so on Saturday.
All right.
And let me use this opportunity to thank you for coming on board with St. Joseph's Convent and Presentation College in sponsoring some of our t-shirts. As we have spoken yesterday, well, don't feel any way. I mean, you're a PBC boy, and it's just important that you help your alma mater. All persons do that, so don't feel freaky that I mentioned this on the program.
That's cool.
I think it's necessitous that I do that. So I'll be looking forward for you to next year be more collaborative with us, make the product a better product, and help the students and help in the development of Grenada.
All right, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, folks, there you've heard it from...
Yeah. What's the entry fee?
Adults $7, children $5.
Okay.
Oh, okay. All right, good. So, I mean, you're still getting change. You go to 10 and you get something to buy a drink afterwards.
We couldn't increase the price this year because last year our patrons were very, very accommodative. Because, in fact, after the activity was rained out and persons were still coming to the stadium, there was no activity, but they really didn't ask for refund.
Right.
So
okay,
yeah, I
okay.
mean, and taking into consideration the economic situation, we thought that we left our price. I mean, things are hard, and you know, somebody to come, you might have to bring your kids and so
Right,
on, that,
right,
you know.
right.
So
And
we're
of course,
really
you
looking
want
forward.
as many people to come as
Oh
possible.
well, I mean, even though the sports was rained out last year, there was hundreds of people pouring in to come to the activity. I think it would be remiss of me if I didn't mention that St. Joseph's Convent is in the March Pass. A lot of people come to look forward to that. So maybe Mr. Boyd could say something to that effect.
Oh yes, well the March Pass is a high feature of Convent Sports ever since, you know. I mean this year, the presentation by those college fellas will move off, the Convent girls will move off, just to take the eyes right, you know, the matching, and then they will have the display.
Right.
Colorful March Pass, and from our practice session yesterday, the 4 houses, they are looking good. They are looking good. So we're asking all the past Convent students to come out, support your house, red, green, yellow, blue. The display will be a sight to behold.
Imagine that. And they want to be there for the eyes right.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Of course, the eyes right. They have to be there for the eyes right.
Oh, yes.
So is it one March Pass or the March Pass separate to the boys and the girls?
So it's one March Pass. We are not, in the interest of time this year, we don't want to make anything too long and too boring. So we are going to do our March Pass. It's going to be judged. Convent is going to March Pass, and then they are going to have their display.
Right.
Because you know the ladies like, you know, all the flair and flamboyance and all that kind of thing.
You know, boys aren't as flowery as those girls.
We are as flowery. Don't say that. We are flowery. It's just because I mean this activity in its sense doesn't really necessitate that we be very flowery. But
Right.
the boys with March Pass, they would rise to the occasion on the day and make sure that what has to be done is done very good. You know.
All right, well, I'm sure both schools are going to come shining. You know, they're going to pull out all the stops and come and represent. For
Excellence is
each.
what we strive for.
Definitely.
You see, the experiment is no longer an experiment. It's something. It's that fixation, and so therefore, that whole activity, a lot of persons looking towards it,
Right.
and maybe in the not too distant future, you'll find other institutions joining and making this a big activity, because to host sports is a very expensive venture, as you are aware.
Yeah.
And so the more together we come, the more integrated we become, because that's the way the world is going now, all over. So maybe GBSS High School may try the experiment, and St. David's Catholic, and you know, St. Joseph's Convent, Grenville, and whoever, to make it, you know, a compact kind of production, and in a sense kind of alleviate a cost and everything.
The cost for each person. All right, so thank you, gentlemen, for coming on the show this morning. All right, ladies and gents at home, make sure you go out and support and take in a good sporting event this Saturday. What's the date on Saturday?
11th.
The 11th. This Saturday, the 11th, PBC and Convent Sports at the National Stadium, starting at 9 o'clock. All right, again, all athletics, again, the March Pass, and you'll be having a good time.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for coming on the show.
You're most welcome, eh?
All
Have
right.
a pleasant
Thank you
day.
very much.
Thank you, Mark.